Hey everyone, and welcome to the number 2 Septic podcast. Today I'm super pumped to have Titus Menche. Did I say your last name right, Titus?
No, a lot of people get it wrong, so don't feel bad. It's Mesh, my man. Yeah, that's that
Oh, I
Louisiana
like
twist
that.
on it.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, say it one more time. I got to get it.
Mesh,
Mesh. Okay.
mesh. Like picture like you spelling it. MESHE would be the correct. It would sound better if you
Mesh.
pronounce it that way. Yes.
Well, he's from Louisiana Sewer Solutions, and I'm just a Texas girl trying to trying to say it the right way. So, just very happy to have you on. So, Titus, why don't you just start by telling us about your business? I know you've got a lot of different things going on, so tell us all the things that you're doing, where you're located, all that stuff.
Well, we're located in a small town of Church Point, Louisiana. It's nice and tucked away. It's not out in the open. It's country. It's rural. Um, Not real city-ish, but I don't know. And we do a lot of stuff, man. So I own the largest sewer manufacturing company in the state of Louisiana, producing
Mm-hmm.
about 1,400 sewer plants a year. Um, I worked for the company for 14 years before purchasing it, and it was
Wow.
running a mill. Yeah, yeah. I started there about 20 years ago, sweeping the floor, and just worked my way throughout the whole, from working the broom to shop supervisor, and then out in the field and field supervisor and head of operations. And before you know it, had the opportunity to buy it, and I bought it. And having watched the previous owner, where he did well, where he excelled at, and his disadvantages, and kind of where he fumbled the ball in different spots. So it really made it easier for me to take it, finesse it, put my own spin on it, and grow
Yeah.
it beyond any of our imaginations, for sure.
Wow. What a
Yeah.
great opportunity that was. Probably
Well,
not something you ever saw coming 20 years ago.
never did. Never would have expected it. You were
I
just
think
talking about the things if I'd have known them 20 years ago, right?
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would have never believed. I think some of the best business opportunities are surprises. They just happen as you're out there doing the work, and it just finds you because you're busy being, really diligent about what you're doing, obviously. So, it's worked out.
It has. It has.
Yeah.
We've done really well with it. So yeah.
So, what are
Folks.
some of the What are some of the lessons you learned from purchasing the business? Is there anything you would do different if you had it to do over again in the purchasing process?
Uh, Absolutely not. Probably. So when I bought the business, to begin with, I probably had a better credit score when I was born.
Yeah.
I had I had nothing to give for collateral. I didn't own anything.
Mm.
I had terrible credit. Mama probably had cable in my name before I turned 18. Who knows? The guy every afternoon we get back, and the previous owner would say, "Man, y'all better buy it. I'm ready to get out of it, or you're gonna make somebody else rich."
Wow.
And we'd hear it every day. We'd hear it every day, and it got annoying in a sense. So one day I told the crew, I was like, "Look, when we get back this afternoon, I'm gonna call this bluff, see if he's really serious." And we got back that afternoon, and he mentioned it again. I said, "Well, come on, let's go to the bank." And lo and behold, he said, "Get in my truck, let's go." So we got in his truck, went to the bank, walked in. The branch manager, he was well known in the bank. He did well over the years. And walked in, the branch manager was like, "Hey, Mr. Kenny, what can we do for you?" And he said, "I'd like to sell Titus my business." And she looked at me, that's I guess from a quick observation, and she chuckled a little bit. But so, so yeah, she chuckled a little bit. And she said, "All right, well, y'all come in my office and see what we can do for you." And so yeah, we went in her office, and she asked Mr. Kenny what he would want for the business, and et cetera, et cetera. And when he told her, she chuckled a little bit more, and she asked me, like I said, my credit score and what I had for collateral, none of that. And he said, "Listen, give him what I'm asking for the business, and I'll put it in the certificate of deposit, and I'll back up the loan."
Wow.
And they did just that, man. And one Friday, I went from my last $800 check from S&S Sewer Systems to the following Friday being responsible for $15,000 in payroll. Crazy,
Wow.
the craziest transition one could imagine.
He really
Yeah.
wanted to sell his business.
He really wanted to sell his business, man,
Yeah.
and, he knew my potential. I guess I didn't know my potential,
Yeah.
obviously, but yeah.
Yeah.
So just grab me, if I had to draw a picture, I would draw a picture of somebody grabbing another person by their, the collar of their T-shirt and their pants loop and throwing them in an office and say, "Here, run this." Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Sink or swim is correct.
Yeah.
Perfect, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about what it was like when you first took over. Was there a transition period where you had help, or was he just like he sold it to you and he was like, "See you later"? How did that work?
No, man, he didn't. So, I mean, they had his money in a certificate of deposit as to back up the loan, so he definitely wasn't going to leave it and run.
Okay. That's good.
He stayed. He stayed with me. I think for the first 6 months, 8 months, and yeah, familiarized myself with everything that was going on. Um, he wasn't big in any kind of media. He's kind of old school. Everything paper trail.
Yeah.
We swapped to QuickBooks, started using social media and everything, media platforms to
Mhm.
our advantage. And we took a run of the mill company that was selling 30 or 40 sewer systems a month. And now we're selling 140 sewer systems a month, you know?
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
But I wouldn't change any of it. And to answer your question, I think it was the perfect way to learn everything that I learned in life. And most of us learn in life is the hard way because our
Yeah.
parents try telling us, "Hey, you shouldn't do this because this is probably going to happen." And you know how we end up doing it anyway and learning the hard way too.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
hands-on learners.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah. So your sewer systems that you manufacture, are those I know I read that you sell or supply 75% of the residential sewer installations statewide. So are the systems you create really specific for, kind of the land that's in Louisiana? Do you sell outside of the state? How does that work?
We sell just in the state of Louisiana, and the sewer system that I sell is the most eco-friendly, applicable sewer system that you can install in the state. To be honest, it's
Mhm.
simplified, it's basic, um, not a lot of moving parts. It gets the job done,
Mhm.
and man, it's really widespread. They all over the place.
Yeah, it sounds like
Uh,
it.
we selling about, I don't know, on average 30 a week, 40 a week.
Mhm.
And we go everywhere from Shreveport to Benton, Louisiana to Clinton, Belrose, Port Sulphur. You can't be Louisiana sewer if you're going to stay in Church Point. Yeah.
That's
I'd have
right.
to call it Church Point sewer.
Yeah, that's true. So do you have like yards in different places over the state where you kind of keep a stock and people can go and purchase them, or do you deliver? How does that work?
We deliver. We manufacture in one facility. We tried a second facility. It just wasn't as punctual.
Mm,
Everything was too diversified. So we went back to having one manufacturing location, and we just disperse out of that location.
hmm So you're a manufacturer, but you're also a trucking company too, it
Correct.
sounds like.
In a sense. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And that's just one half of the
hmm
business. I have the other half that does all the installations. We do probably 90% of the mobile home industry in the state of Louisiana. We do their land development. Excuse me, which consists of taking a raw piece of land and installing a culvert, driveway, pad, runners, concrete foundation, whatever you're wanting, the sewer system, the plumbing, the water line. I also have a trim crew that does the inside of the houses, uh, decks, steps, ramps, carports, cement slabs, you name it, man. We got our hands in everything. We do
hmm
pretty much everything but electrical. But I think by the end of this year, we'll be adding electrical to our genre for sure. So pretty much the one-stop
So you're like a
shop, man.
one-stop shop. Yeah,
Correct.
for
Yeah.
specifically for manufactured homes.
Correct. Correct. Primarily
Okay.
manufactured homes, but we have a substantial amount of private sector people that's just having an old sewer system or needing a new sewer system upgrade.
Mhm.
Anytime you're buying or selling the house, anytime you're in that transition, your sewer system is a key role. It has to be pumped, inspected, et cetera, for the purchaser or the seller to be able to acquire lights in their name. So, man, there's a lot to do with the sewer
Mm.
system. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So they have to have a state inspection. Yeah.
correct.
With all that, are you also doing well water as part of the deal
No,
with
man, no well
especially the
water.
all the site prep? Okay.
No well water, yeah. We,
So
everything, so
yeah.
it's probably about 75%, city water. There is a small percentage that gets water wells, but, it's almost grown obsolete, man.
Mhm.
And 2 completely different styles of water too.
Yeah. Yes. So that part of the business where you're doing the install and the repairs and the pumping and all that, did that come with the manufacturing side or is that something you added on? How did that part of the business develop?
What? It was 2 different parts. It was an installation and a manufacturing that, the previous owner had. I
Okay.
first bought, the installation part of it, and, man, he did real well, but he wasn't a numbers guy. He wasn't in his numbers like talking
Mm.
about. So the 2 needed to be hand in hand for one or the other to survive. When I took it, I divided them completely and made them self-sufficient to where neither of them depended on the other to run. And that was a task in itself, just having everything priced right and breaking everything down
Yeah.
to, man, the piece of gravel that was in it, you know. But
Mhm.
through years of hard work and experience, and just we since prevailed. And like I said, we sell 1,400 a year now, and I know the largest in the state. We had top 3 business in Acadiana. Um, I got a wall of plaques in my office from here to here. Um, and we got nominated for Acadiana's Choice. And man, I think we got that in the bag by a long shot. So yeah, just continue. It's award after award after award, and it's amazing. I couldn't be more grateful for sure.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking too much, let me know.
No, this is great.
I just don't get to tell my story often, man. You know.
Yeah, people come to hear you, not to hear me. So I love it. It's really great. So you obviously haven't accomplished all of this without a great team around you. I'm assuming, especially separating the two businesses. So that's probably a big part of what you do is managing people. So just talk to us about what that process was like. You obviously already managed people before you purchased the business, but I'm sure that's just taken it to a whole nother level. So what are some of your kind of Titus secrets to managing people at scale and being able to take the things that you're passionate about, your values, and making sure that all of your team members have those values too.
So I think the greatest advantage of it all is working alongside of people that were with me when I started 20 years ago. So they kind of transitioned the business with me. Um, the older gentleman that I bought the business from, he was the iron fist for sure. And I don't know. I'm more open to their opinions. Their opinions matter. Sometimes they have good opinions, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in happy bees make honey. You know, if you piss them off in the morning, I'm sure they're not gonna want to go out there and do you a great job. You know,
Yeah.
I'm considerate to their feelings. I don't expect them to be machines and run every day without breaking down. Everybody needs a break.
Mm.
I make sure that they all do well financially. Being a business owner, you have to have so many hats, man. You have to be a doctor so you can diagnose them. You have to be a financial advisor in a sense, and not really a doctor. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's so many things, but the greatest part of it all is my dad works for me. My brother works for me.
Uh,
My grandmother cleans the place 3 days a week. Um, it's a family ran business. Everybody cares about it the same way that I do.
mm.
Every once in a while, I just got to reiterate that delegate authority a little bit, but it ain't too bad, man. For the most part, um, with a little bit of brains and a little bit of effort and the team that I got, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at without the team that I got. If, I guess to make a long story short,
Yeah. And it
yeah,
sounds like you just treat them like humans.
correct. I don't know what else you're supposed to treat them like, you know.
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I don't know. I just yeah.
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 That's
They
great.
all excel in life. They all buying new houses. Like sitting back and seeing them being able to afford new houses, new vehicles. They post on media for Christmas, and the Christmas presents are far taller than the tree. That's where I get my um, I don't know what's the word you my gratitude.
Mhm.
It's just when I sit back and that's where my greatest pleasure comes from, seeing them do well and um, I don't know, you know. I don't pull
Yeah.
up in these big fancy cars and they riding bicycles, you know. If you wouldn't know me, you wouldn't be able to tell my car from theirs.
Mhm.
Uh, you know. And when we're on
Yeah.
the job site, I dress the same as them. So
Mhm.
a lot of times I get passed up on a location. Somebody will go to my dad. They'll go to
Yeah.
somebody that they think's the owner, yeah. And then
Yeah.
they circle back and come meet me. That makes me feel good. But I
Yeah.
just sort of blend in, man. Treat them like people.
Mhm.
I spend more time with them than I do my actual family. So it's like my family away from my family, and we all treat each
Mhm.
other accordingly. If one's having a bad day or needing help with something, we all kind of get together and just make it happen. So yeah, dude, I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed.
Mhm.
I don't know how else to describe it. Like I said, I
Yeah.
didn't rehearse this. This isn't practice. This isn't nothing that I wrote down last night. This is just yeah.
That's the best part.
This
I
is what
love
you
it.
get, raw
Yeah,
and
I
uncut.
love the raw and real. Yeah. Well, it sounds like leading with humility plays a big part when obviously you're the owner and you have to play the part of the owner, but you're not, you're treating your employees like they value are valuable, and you're not some god above them, and you're just leading with humility. And I think that goes a really long way with people.
That was one of the things that I got from the previous owner as well. Yeah. Well, there was a lot of days when I left the yard and I wasn't real happy to do him a real good job, you know. So
Mm.
I
Yeah.
did my job anyway because if a man's paying me to do a job, you're not gonna get nothing less than 110% of
Mhm.
my efforts. But there were a lot of times when I didn't feel like giving it, you
Yeah.
know. I wasn't
Yeah.
motivated to give it. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes a big difference when you've been the employee and you remember what it feels like.
How could I forget? Yeah.
Yeah. What do you feel like was your first really big win when you took over the business? You were past your initial, 6 to 9 months of him hanging around, and it was just you. What was your first big win when you kind of looked up and realized, like, we're going to make something of this? This is really going somewhere. We've made a lot of big changes.
The really big win for me was them releasing his money the second year into the company, into owning the company and having it paid off by the third year.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. You know, having my
And
equipment paid and um, all the assets paid. Basically, it was an asset purchase. I bought all the assets and renamed it, refaced it, revamped it, rekindled a
Mhm.
lot of relationships that it kind of went by the wayside due to one or the other party
Mhm.
having a disagreement. And yeah,
Ah,
I don't
that's
know if I
great.
have the right words for you, my baby.
Yeah,
I'm just a
that's
good old
great.
country boy, and I'm poorly spoken, well educated, and a lot of common sense. A lot of common sense
Yeah.
is what got me where I am.
Mhm.
You know, it wasn't definitely nothing to do with schooling or books. Knowing how to count was a plus, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think common sense does go a really long way. Um, and in that vein, what kind of habits or systems did you put in place so that you were able to focus more on the business instead of like, running around crazy trying to do the work? Is there any, you said you switched to QuickBooks, so that I'm sure made a big difference. Are there any other
It did.
systems that you put in place or habits that you felt like made it easier to manage a big operation?
Well, in the beginning, I had an installation crew and I had a manufacturing crew, so there are only two crews. And the installation crew, if we had service calls during the day, or if we needed to stop and bid a job for another job that it came over the phone or something, our ladies in the office would just send it to the installation crew. And when you leave in the morning with a goal in mind, you have two sewer systems or three sewer systems, and stuff just gets added on to that list throughout the day. It gets a little bit discouraging, man. So I
Mm,
added a service technician, which is a service department, and I got a guy that goes and does all the bids and checks locations. Because in Louisiana, the weather here is so crazy. One week is sunshine, one week is raining, and it'll rain here, and 2 miles
yeah.
down the road it won't rain there. So I just have to monitor everything a lot. And I took all the service work and the
Mhm.
bidding from the installation crew to where they focus primarily on installations. My manufacturing focuses primarily on manufacturing. My delivery drivers only deliver sewer systems. And I have service technicians and bid technicians that do the service calls and the bidding to where everybody has they each have their individual job. And by
Mhm.
diversifying it into them different areas, it helped out a lot. Definitely helped out a lot.
Yeah.
I'm big on communication, big on customer service.
Mm.
We get so busy that it would be hard for the ladies in the office to keep track of everything. The phones were constantly ringing, and this one we get a call back, and we forget to call this one back, and it wasn't on purpose. It's just by doing
Mm.
so much in a day that so by taking each area and breaking it down to its own little entity, definitely helped the business for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, that's really good. What's the most effective way you found to build relationships with your guys? You know, you said it's like you're closer with them than you are with your family, but is there anything that you do particularly that you feel like helps build those relationships with all of your team members?
All you gotta do is pay attention. After knowing somebody for so long, you can tell when they're having an off day. You
Mm.
can tell when something's wrong, and just be considerate, man. Hey, look, what's up? What's happening? How can I help you? Just be considerate. Is all. You know.
Mhm.
Like I said, after knowing them for so long, you can tell 5 minutes. You can tell the minute they walk out of their vehicle. You know if they're good, if they're bad, and dude, for the most part, uh, it's not bad. My guys are always happy go lucky. They're always in a good mood. They're always ready to work. Um, they work 7 days a week, not by my choice. Like I'll tell them, dude, y'all need to take a break, and they'll text me the next morning. Hey, look, we had the truck. We had the office washing trucks, or it's hard to make them go home. I'm not kidding. I never had that problem before. I can't make these guys go home. I'm really not BSing. They don't want to go
Yeah,
home.
that's great. Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like they're treated like kings, so they're happy to be there.
They all have a vehicle that was purchased by me at one point in time. Helped with their houses. When they buy new houses, we give them the sewer system, or we do land improvements on their property. Um, if I have a piece of machine, they're always welcome to a piece of machine. They know how I
Mhm.
am. I'm funny about my equipment. I don't like it get torn up. That's how we make our living, obviously. But
Right.
and they treat it the same way. But if ever they're in need of one, they come and get it. They have full access to everything I have. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they short on money, not that's they all do real well financially. It's if sometimes they need a little help or something comes up, and then I just step in and help them out or whatever I can do for them. You know, I'm kind of like I don't know, man. I didn't have it before, and it wasn't for them. I wouldn't have it now. So it was
Yeah.
easy to get it the first time. If ever I had to go back and get it a second time, I don't think it'd be too bad.
Mhm. Yeah. That's really cool. I hope everyone's really paying attention to some of these little things that you're saying, but I think they really make a huge difference in keeping people happy and in your success really is can be so tied into your people. So, on that note, when you do need someone new, you have to make a new hire. Do you have any hiring tips?
I don't. I don't because we stay as busy as we want, and the guys that I have, they never leave, so I don't have to hire anybody new. If I was wanting to take the
Mm.
business and double it in size, but I think where it's at, not to say that I've plateaued, but I think I found my happy medium. Like I found the spot
Mm,
that works best for everybody, including myself, where I can still have somewhat of a
mhm.
personal life, even though it's not much. My wife and my
Yeah.
kids still deserve for me to be a part of their lives as well. So I can't devote 100% of
Mhm.
myself to the business, even though it
Yeah.
gets 99% for sure. But I think I've reached that
Yeah.
happy medium spot to where I don't know if I want it to grow any bigger. The communication with the customers are at their prime, man. Communication is good, service is good. I
Mm.
think if it gets any busier, that's when things start getting dropped. That's when I start
Yeah.
having stress and unnecessary stress, and it takes
Yeah.
from my focus. And so I just think I'm at a spot right now to where everything runs efficiently and like it's supposed to.
Mhm. Yeah, and don't mess with a good thing.
And that was one thing about the second location. It was is either have one location that ran 100% or two locations that ran 50%, and
Yeah.
the 50% didn't sit right with me at all. So just
Mhm.
having one location running 110% was good with me.
Yeah. So how did you get to the place where you were 75% of the sewer systems in Louisiana? What do y'all do differently than that other 25% that makes everyone want to just keep coming back for your systems? It sounds like they're simple and they don't break because they're simple, but is there any other sort of key factors, just here's an
The
opportunity to sell
service.
us on your system, the
The
service?
service. The service is by far unmatched. Like if so a lot of people that are in this industry, they have a radius. They'll go here, they'll go there, they won't go here, they won't
Mhm.
go there. Well, these mobile home dealerships, they'll call because they'll know if they decide to I tell them like I tell everybody, don't fall off the end of the earth. I'll follow you anywhere. Just don't fall off the end of the earth because we both gone. But no, we go everywhere. Our services, it can't be touched, man. If something were to get damaged or broken during shipping, we'll turn right back around, go get one, and go right back. Whether it's 4 hours, 5 hours away, 2 hours away, 30 minutes away. Um, Not just that, a vast majority of this industry, they set their tanks with a monorail truck. It's a truck that has a A-frame rail on the back of it, and in the winter months, that truck can't access wet and muddy property.
Mhm.
It's inaccessible at that point, so sewer installs slow down. So I went and bought a big machine that can go and set tanks in mud, standing water, whatever they want to do it in, and I provide that service free of charge. I went spend a few
Wow.
$100,000 on a big machine that would bring them or help them be able to do work in the wintertime as well or in the rainy season. And I don't charge them $1 to use it. I go set it. If I make it there before them, I have my operator dig the hole, set the plant. When they get there, all they got to do is hook up lines and dig a discharge line or something. The job's halfway done. I don't know. I just go above and beyond. And
Yeah.
with the service and the superior product, it's hard to be beat. You know,
Mhm. Yeah. You just solving problems for your customers,
Uh,
making it really stupid for them to say no.
correct. And
Yeah.
not so. And then when I sell them a sewer system, I don't expect my money right then and there because they work for dealerships and they work for big corporations, and they may be on a 30-day net, a 60-day net, a
Right.
90-day net. Um, they'll ride me until they get paid, and then once they get paid, I get paid. So that's a big plus as well. They can come get us to a
Mhm.
system, run their business, and when they get paid for it, they pay me for it. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
You gotta
And
have a big capital to be able to back all that up, but
yeah.
operation capital is a big thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. It probably sounds like I'm rambling.
No, it's really good and it just feels like we just get to sit down and kick back and have a conversation, which I know is
That's
what everyone
basically what I'm doing.
listening. Yeah, that's what they appreciate. That's what they would do, if they could. I get the honor of picking your brain, but I try to ask the questions they would want to ask if they could sit down with you. So, really appreciate it. So, if we kind of wrap up, I would love to hear what's the hardest thing you've ever faced in business and what did you learn from it? How did you get past it?
The hardest thing I've ever faced in business. so it's not the hardest, but it's the most uncomfortable. What makes me the most
Mm,
uncomfortable is having to ask for my money or ask for like these people that I
mm,
do uh net tens, net 30s, net 60s, net 120s, whatever the case may be. I hate to where it gets to a point where I have to be like, hey, look, this has been out 4 months or 5 months. The money is in order
yeah.
for it to keep rolling, it needs to be in the set amount of time.
Mhm.
It just makes me real uncomfortable having to ask for it. I don't have to do it often, but I think that's probably the most difficult and the most uncomfortable spot that I get put in my business,
Yeah.
or somebody that's old, elderly, disabled, uh, and they are in any kind of financial bind, but in need of a service, dire need of your service. It is that's where the business takes a leak because I'm bad with no's. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I can help them in any kind of way, I will, and
Mm,
I'm blessed.
mm,
I'm very blessed. So I believe by spreading my blessings amongst people that are really in need of it, continues the
yeah.
blessings coming in. So I don't know. That's the difficult spot for me, having to ask
Yeah.
for money and not being able to
Mhm.
tell elderly, disabled, or just anybody that's really not in a position to afford what the services that you provide, but they really need them because their stuff's not working, or I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
fully spoken. I'm not. I don't
Yeah.
have all these big words to tell you. I don't. It's not my style. Uh,
That's
I don't
okay.
chase alligators or drink nothing but beer in the afternoon. It's not my style. But I know when it comes to Louisiana, I think everybody wrestles alligators and they drink beer with big old cigarettes hanging out of their mouth. That's not, that's not us, but
But that's not you.
no. No, I am country, obviously from the accent.
Do you have someone that handles the accounts receivable for you, or is that on your
Yes.
plate to ask for money?
No, I have I
Okay.
have three secretaries. One of my secretaries is in charge of the mobile home of the manufactured mobile home division, and she does the receivables and payables as well. And then I have a woman that does all our service, and she does receivables and payables in it. And then I have somebody that's in charge of the bids, and they don't do any receivables or payables. They're just in charge of the bids.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just kind of oversee everything.
Yeah.
I have a big expo board, 4x8 on the wall, that I can kind of see everything that's out. Um, I can walk in the office and just take a glance and see if something's too far out or if something needs to be addressed, or
Mhm.
in between keeping the equipment
Yeah.
uh, maintenance and keeping the employees happy and keeping the office running. I have quite the task. Yeah.
Yeah. You sure do. It sounds like it. What's the biggest risk you feel like you've taken in your business?
The beginning, going from an $800 check to $15,000 in payroll. That was a
Yeah.
hell of a risk, man. But I think I had about
Yeah.
20 grand saved in the beginning. I had a $50,000 line of credit. I think I used $10,000 of that line of credit, and it's just been flowing since. But yeah, that was a great risk. Every day you wake up and you get on the road with 15 trucks is a risk. So uh, the risk
Mhm.
for me is there every day. It don't ever go away.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of the blessing of being a business owner and the curse is that
Correct.
you shoulder that risk and you get to provide for all those families that work for you, but then you also have the pressure of you have to provide for all those families. So you get it both sides.
If you have 20 employees and they got 4 or 5 kids apiece, ultimately at the end of the day, that's 100 people that depend on the choices that you make. So when you make them
Wow.
choices, you have to be considerate of that as well.
Mhm. Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to yourself, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but one piece of advice to yourself back when you first started, or maybe it was when you first purchased the business, what would you go back and tell yourself back then?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know if I tell myself anything. I like the direction it took.
This was really great. I really appreciate having you on, Titus, and just sharing your wisdom and all your words. We really appreciate having you.
Thank you, my baby.